For the past few months, I've been interacting with the HR managers of product-based companies as well as placement coordinators of the private engineering colleges on my personal work. So, after talking with them, I found out some facts which are quite shocking and surprising. One good news is, okay, let me talk about this. If you are from IITs or NITs or triple ITs, you are lucky. You are going to get all the product based companies, most of them, and without doing a lot of work. If you are good with your academics, I mean the CGPA, if you have good CGPA and if you are good with the core computer science subjects, which means the GATE syllabus, you are definitely going to get placed in some company if you are doing BTech in these colleges. But the bad news is, if you are a good hardworking student and if you are from a private engineering college, the chances are that these product based companies might never visit your college, even though your placement coordinator is going to promise you that by the time you reach your final year BTech, they will get these companies. It is not going to happen, and so you are on your own and you have to work much harder to get placed into these product based companies. I'll tell you all these details. See, the reason why am I saying this is like, I'll tell you the entire scenario, what I came to understand from these interactions. So every company, any company, it will have certain budget allocated, and they'll allocate this budget to the HR managers, and within this budget they are supposed to fill all the vacancies in the company, and now they are not supposed to exceed the budget. So whatever budget is allocated, they are supposed to do that. And now in this budget they have to include the traveling expenses, which means if they are located in based out in Bangalore, and if they have to travel till Delhi, then their entire team has to travel, and then they have to stay there probably for 1 or 2 days. So for all this, the expenses are going to be added up in the recruiting budget, as well as the number of days the teams they spend on recruiting. Even that cost has to be included in this budget. Therefore, they are constrained by various things. One is the number of days, and second is the cost. And so what they are trying to do is, they want to go to the colleges where there will be at least a minimum guarantee that they could find at least 4 or 5 students, or at least 2-3 students. Now whenever these product based companies are visiting normal engineering colleges on request by these placement coordinators, they are going there, but then in the first round itself they are not taking anyone. They are just filtering out everyone, and they had to return back empty handed. It happened many times. Even I don't want to say the name of the college, but it is a very popular private engineering college in Delhi, Noida. So their placement coordinator is a very good friend of mine, and he told me that he has tried hard, and then he got Google for the campus recruiting, and Google went there, the team, and in one round in the written test no one could qualify it. They have just filtered out everyone, and they scolded him, and they asked him never to contact them again, and they left. They are never going to visit that college again. So because of these reasons, product based companies, they don't prefer going to private engineering colleges. Even if your placement coordinator is going to say that they are going to get these product based companies, don't believe them. It is impossible. Okay. And second thing is, even the private engineering colleges, they are also not working so hard. They are really lazy. I have met many people, they are very lazy, and the reason is simple. If they have to bring a product based company to the for campus recruiting, they have to do a lot of work. They have to approach them, follow up, and then keep continuously be in touch with them, and they have to do a lot of work. Even after doing all this work, these companies, even if they come, they will recruit 1 or 2 students. Now if these placement coordinators, if they put in the same effort in getting a service oriented company, service oriented jobs like TCS, Infosys, like those, these companies, they will recruit 100 and 200 students, 100 or 200 students like in one go, and so the entire college can be lifted up, isn't it? So these placement coordinators or the placement heads, what they want is 100% placement. They are interested in numbers, not in the quality. So these colleges mainly, they are not concerned about your future. They don't need a computer science student to go and work for a product based company. They want everyone equally, EC, triple E student equally, everyone to be placed in some company so that they can put up the hoarding saying that we have 100% placements. But those jobs are really useless for a computer science student. Service based companies are really useless for a computer science student. If you are a computer science student, you should definitely aim and get into product based companies. Now, either these, both of them are not interested in each other. The companies are not interested in coming to your college, as well as these private engineering colleges are not interested in calling the product based companies. So there is completely gap between these two. If you are from IITs and NITs, you are lucky, you will definitely get it. Otherwise you have to be really careful. Now I'll tell you what you should be doing as a student in order to get into these product based companies from your end, because you are on your own, you have to take care of all this. So first thing is, you have to do all this. 80% weightage I give for core computer science. Core. So what is this core is? Now after talking with all these people, these HR managers and then the engineers and managers of these companies, I found out that they are not looking for people with technical skills. They are looking for people who have analytical skills, who could take a problem, analyze it, design a solution, write the algorithm, and then analyze it, time complexity, and probably propose the data structures, and who have the grip over the core computer science subjects. So one common misconception is that people generally think that learning technologies like Java, J2E, JSP, .NET will get them into product based companies, which is completely wrong. It is a misconception. So if you have to get into product based company, you are supposed to learn core computer science subjects. Okay, you have to understand the underlying principles. So luckily the core computer science subjects are the same subjects which you are supposed to prepare for GATE. So even if you write GATE or not, that is secondary. If you are trying for either MS, or if you are trying for either a job or a job in a product based company, you are supposed to learn these subjects perfectly. You should be as good as any other serious GATE aspirants are in this area. So in these subjects, if you are very good, then there is 80% chance that you will get placed in product based companies. 80% of the work is you have to spend in learning core computer science subjects. And one more thing, whatever I am going to say now from here on, if you are in final year, just ignore it. If you are in first, second and third year, if you have enough time, plan your schedule accordingly and then try to do whatever I am going to say here. But if you are in final year and if you have only 1 year to prepare for GATE, don't do all these things. Just focus on GATE. Let GATE get over, and then after GATE exam you can again do whatever I am going to say now. Okay, fine. And first importance, give it to core computer science subjects. And second thing is, these companies, they want you to be a good programmer. So it doesn't mean that you should learn technologies. Programming is different and technologies are different. Okay, so they want you, so to prove that you are a good programmer, I suggest that you learn one programming language, that is enough. Don't learn everything. You need not learn Java and .NET and all, but you can learn C programming language, that is enough. Only C programming language. C++ is not required, Java is not required. Just learn C programming language, and the best book for C is the C programming language by Dennis Ritchie. That is the best book. So in that book you'll understand how to write programs small and beautiful. So if you look at any code which is written by a professional, you will see that he has written it in a concise manner. He has written it in a small line, very less number of lines, and it will be beautiful to learn but difficult to understand. But if you can read and understand such code, and if you can write such code, it will just indicate them that you are good with programming. And especially if you are preparing for product based companies, you should be, or GATE, you should be really be thorough with these concepts. One is structures, pointers, arrays, functions. You should be really confident about these four. You should do and write some small programs on that, snippets of code, and see how it works, and also read this book. My suggestion is by heart this book. Read it 10 times, 100 times, it is worth it. And wherever you go, they are going to ask you about this. At least if you are going to apply for product based companies, You will definitely come across a question from C programming language, and in order to answer it, you might have to go through this. So also learn using Linux, and this book is and don't read that Balaguru Swami and I don't know what are the other books, Yashwant Kanatkar, all these books. Don't read them. They are not standard. So read these books, the Dennis Ritchie book, and then work on Linux. That is going to be helpful. And the third thing is, so these product-based companies, they are not interested or they are not willing to train a fresher. So if they recruit you, then they expect that you join on day 1 and from day 2 you start contributing to the code. That is what they expect, which means you should prove that you are good, you are so good that you can start contributing to the code from the second day. Now how can you prove it? If you have a earlier experience working on big projects, then you can say that yes, I can contribute from the next day. I know how the subversions are controlled, SVN or GitHub or Bitkeeper, right, or GitHub. So if you can say that I know about all these softwares, I know how the actual mechanism works, you can prove that. If you can prove that, then definitely you are going to get the job. So in order to do that, I suggest that you just decide upon one open source project. Okay, one open source project. For example, if you are interested in, let's say, compilers, you can work with the open source project Lance. Or if you are interested in, let's say, cloud computing, you can work with Hadoop. If you are interested in computer networks, you can work with Wireshark or E3L, right? Likewise, if you are interested in operating systems, you can work with Linux or Minix. So likewise, every core subject or core area is going to have some open source project going on. You can okay, how to start working with open source project is, first of all, you should download that software, install it and start using it, start experiencing it. And whenever you get any doubt, any bug, if you see that any functionality is not working properly, then raise a bug. You should know how to raise a bug and then follow that bug. Let's say someone is going to add a patch in order to correct it, then you should understand how the patches work. And the next stage is, patch is nothing but it is just a snippet of code which is going to be added to a project in order to add a functionality or modify the functionality. So typically patches will be tens or 20s of lines or hundreds of lines. It will not be too big. So you should at least learn how to raise a bug and how to write the patches. And then if you can at least add one patch, that is good enough to say that you know how to read the code and then write the code. And believe me, even writing this code, that patch is going to take some time. It is not very easy that you can right away open the project and then start contributing to it. You have to learn it. Probably you try to find some resources online, or I'll try to put up some videos about how to contribute to open source once I'm done with my GATE syllabus. That I'll do it later, right? But you can do it on for you. Okay, you please Google out about how to do all this, and it is very important. And next thing is, the next most important thing is internships. If you want to get into product based companies, try to apply for internships first. So where do you want to apply the internships is, some colleges, IITs and IISc, they take students for summer internship. IISc is having a program called as summer school. I think it starts in somewhere in May, June or something, April, May, June or something. 2 or 3 months they are going to have this summer school. You can apply to that, and if you can get through, you will get lot of exposure in terms of you will be able to interact with the professors at IISc as well as with the MTech and PhD students. You will learn a lot. That is a very good opportunity. So apply for internships with the professors even in IISc or IITs or NITs. So if you can directly email the professor saying that you want to work with them for 2 to 3 months during this summer vacation, and you have this project in mind. You can approach them. Some of them will accept you as a student, okay, as an intern. That is one thing. And second thing is, you must have heard about GSOC, Google Summer of Code. If you are already contributing something or learning about an open source project, and if you have some functionality in mind, let us say there is an open source project and you have been following it for a long time and you know what is happening there, and you want to add a functionality to this open source project, then you can find a mentor from the same project who is already working on that project for a long time, a senior member. Ask him to mentor you. There will be many people who will be willing to guide you, and take them as the guide, and then your mentor and you, both of them can prepare a proposal and send it to the Google Summer of Code website, and these people, Google Summer of Code, they will approve your project and they will give you 2 to 3 months of time to finish it. And in this 2 to 3 months of time, if you can write the code and then send it to the project, and if it gets approved, then GSOC, Google, is going to give you the certificate. One is certificate, as well as they are also going to pay you, I think, 2 to 3 lakhs in Indian currency. Okay, forget about money. Money is okay, money is there, but then the most important thing here is the certificate that you are going to get. If you get that Google Summer of Code certificate, that is good enough to prove that you are a great programmer, and many companies, even Google, is willing to take. Even if you apply for Google after Google Summer of Code, you will definitely get the job. Not just Google, any company, you will get the job. Okay, that is about Google Summer of Code. And after this, you can directly apply for see, Google Summer of Code, you can do it either in second year or third year, and even this IITs and IIS, you can do it in second year or third year. And then you can directly apply for product based companies. Go to the websites of the product based companies, there will be careers tab, and in that tab, if you scroll it down, there will be somewhere internships, so you can apply there. Most of the companies, they have, you can apply there. If you are lucky, they'll interview and they'll do a telephonic interview and they'll take you as an intern. So most of the companies, they'll be interested in taking freshers as interns. The reason is simple. They cannot directly give you a job because they don't know much about you. If you are an experienced person, they can know that yes, you have worked at so and so company and you will easily mingle in. But if you are not having any experience, they would like to test you for a few months and see your progress and then get you the job. Most of the internships at product based companies will get converted to jobs. So this is one important thing and one easy thing to get into product based companies. Try for internships first, then get into the job. Okay, so you can apply, you can prepare your resume and then send it to them. And the last one is startups. So there are many startups in cities like Hyderabad, Chennai and Bangalore, which are started by IITians and IISians, and these people, they might not be having a lot of money to pay you, but then they have good quality of work with them. So if you are saying that, if you say that you are going to work for free, many startups will recruit you, they will train you, and it will be a learning experience. You will see real time what is happening, how to write the code. Therefore, I even suggest joining in this startups as an intern and then getting into the product based companies. Now all these things are going to add up. See, if you have a good GATE score, let us say your GATE score is 99 percentile, it says that you are better than 99% of the students in India in computer science in that year. That is a great thing, great achievement. If your first line says that 99 percentile in GATE, it says that you are very good in core computer science subjects. And then if you can put that you have contributed something to open source, that says that you are a very good programmer. And if you do your internship by your final year, it says that you can easily work in companies. That is, or you have at least got some exposure, and you can be considered not as a fresher but as an experienced person. So if you can do all this, your resume will really look appealing to these companies, and you can directly apply to these companies even if they don't visit your college. You can directly apply, and with all these added things, you might get a chance. See, don't have a plain resume. So your resume should include some it should have some content. You cannot put that my 10th class is 80%, plus 2 is 80%, BTech is 70%, and then my hobbies are cooking and then singing, dancing, all this. They are not going to appeal, right? So if you want to make your resume stand out, do all these things and then put them in your resume. Okay, prepare it in such a way that, see, every activity that you do in your BTech should be with this intention that it should become a line in your resume. Everything that you do should become a line in your resume, so that your final aim is to forward it to the product based company and get placed there. See, getting into a product based company after BTech is very easy, because they have very low expectations, that I I might sound like you might not believe me. It is common, it is very natural. If someone says that something is easy, we don't believe him. If I say that getting into product based companies is impossible, leave it, forget it, and don't never apply for that, most of you will be really readily willing to believe it. But when I say that it is very easy, you don't believe it. It happened many times, people don't believe me. But then if you get it, you will tell everyone that yes, it is very easy. I'm saying it, cracking it is very easy, as well as getting into product based companies is really easy, because they will not ask you too much. See, I'll just tell you one small thing. The most difficult thing, since I worked for Cisco and I even interviewed some people, I was in the panel. The most difficult thing that we are supposed to ask, or we are advised to ask, is given a in order and then pre-order traversal, draw the tree. That is the most difficult question they will ask, and this is a one mark question in GATE. I'm telling you, if you have prepared for GATE, all these core competence subjects, getting through the product based company interviews is nothing. It is a cakewalk. And along with that, if you have these added advantages, and if you are from a normal engineering college, these are important. If you are from a IIT or NITs or IIITs where product based companies are visiting your college, you are lucky. You need not do all these things. If you have good knowledge on these core competence subjects, it is enough, done. I hope you are getting. If you are from a private engineering college, you have to be really careful, because no one is going to care for you. It is your responsibility now. So you are on your own. So do everything with this in mind, that everything you do has to become a line in your resume. Otherwise, there is a chance that you might end up in service based companies, and it will be a struggle to come out of it and again set your career, right? So it is like a V fork. If you are going to take that route, and if someone has taken this route, the distance is going to become too high, that it will be very difficult to cover the distance. Okay, and I hope that you are getting what I am trying to say. Now see, the problem is very simple. Product based companies, they are not coming to see. Product based companies, they don't want to go to the colleges, because they don't find good students, lot of good students. Sometimes they will not find even a single student. And the colleges, they don't want to call the product based companies, because even if they put lot of effort in calling them by providing them all the allowances and all, still they'll come and recruit no one. Therefore there is a gap between them, and it is a loop, and it cannot be corrected. Not you, not anyone. Even if your this placements head is very strong and has a lot of contacts, still he cannot do all this. Only thing they'll do is get the services, and then and rush you all into those companies. So this is all what you can do from your end. Now what I am trying to do is, for my registered students, see, the problem for the product based companies is they can't go to every college and search for one good student from that college. So the advantage I have is, or what I could do is, I have all the good students from many colleges registered with me, and they are getting trained in core computer science. Now what I can do is, I can collect all these students and then provide a platform in such a way that all the good students will be screened by me, trained by me, and they will be taken, and then they will be provided to these companies, so that the work for these companies will be reduced. That is what I have been trying to do for the past few months. Probably by this year end, you will see that I'll be able to call the most of the companies to recruit my students, the students whom I'm training. I want to see that all the registered students, they should at least get one job, as well as they should get qualified in GATE with a very good GATE score. That is my aim. So what I am trying to do is, I want to set up a platform in which companies can come, as well as good students can come there, and it will be easy for both of them. See, engineering colleges cannot do that with only few good students at hand, but I could do it, because I have got from every college, I think I have got a few good students. So I can call them, and then I can call the companies. That is what I am trying to do. So by this year end, I am not promising anything. I don't want to promise. I don't want to over promise and under deliver. This is what I have been working on, and most of the companies are almost willing. I have just convinced them. That's it. So if we can do these things on your part, I'll do the rest. I'll train you well in GATE in these core computer science subjects, and then I'll talk to these companies and get you. But then you have to do all these things if you are from a private engineering college. Okay, just be careful. Fine. And a word of caution: please do all this only if you are in first, second, and third years. If you are in final year, don't get into all these things now. Do it only after GATE is over. So you have already enjoyed for 3 years, enjoy for one more year, then you can do something after that. So at least for this 1 year, I am warning you, work hard, otherwise life is going to be tough for you. If you have already enjoyed for 3 years, if you didn't do any of this, and if you are now in 1 year, if you are having only 1 year in your hand and GATE is very soon, please concentrate and try to at least see that you get a very good GATE rank. That way you can go to MTech, and there in MTech you are going to have 2 years, you can do all these things. For those who are in first, second and third years, so please start off, work well and do all these things, otherwise it will be very difficult for you to get placed in fraud based companies. Okay, thank you.